Alright, hey, what's up, y'all? So I want to talk a little today about how to sleep better without completely revamping your life. And let's think back to why we consider some of these different health topics and things that we're embarking on. The main reason is because we want to feel better. We want to look our best. We want to be happy with the way that we look in our own bodies, the way that we're perceived by other people. We want to perform well in the gym, and we want to have good health overall. And big picture, the reason that we want all of that is because we want to be happy. We want to live this life that we were meant to live. And we know and understand now that a big part of that comes from health. Because when you find health, you find yourself, and everything about your life gets better. Now, as we're trying to get healthy, there's a lot of things that we can do to improve our health, and we believe sleep is one of those components. Now, if you focus on any one of these health aspects, you're going to see dramatic changes in your life. But we're talking about sleep today. I'm telling you right now, if you get your sleep just a little bit better, everything about your life is going to change. With better sleep, and when I say better, I don't mean perfect sleep. I don't mean that you have to be right out the gate sleeping 8 or 9 hours a night and have perfect sleep where you lay down and you don't wake up until you get up in the morning. What we're saying here is with better sleep, everything about your life is going to get better. Now, like many of you, for most of my life, I considered myself a night owl. I was a workaholic. I prioritized everything over sleep. When I was in school, when I was in college, I would pull all-nighters studying for tests, and I would drink coffee all the way up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I know a lot of you probably resonate with that. Once I got out of college, then that translated over to work. When I was working and in my different positions and fields, it didn't matter what was going on. If I had some kind of a project due or something that seemed kind of urgent, I would always prioritize other things over sleep. I would prioritize my workouts over sleep. And, I would usually compensate by trying to catch up on the weekend or by taking naps. And I now know that that wasn't the best thing, but at the time I just didn't know any better. Today, my sleep is ridiculously good. And when I say this isn't what I'm saying that you have to strive for, but I went from being a night owl to going to bed most nights at 7 p.m. And that didn't happen overnight, pun intended. That was a slow, natural progression that felt very easy and comfortable for me. And I went from being a studyholic and a workaholic to now I prioritize sleep over everything else because I know the impact that it has on my life. And I went from having this really haphazard sleep schedule, meaning like during the week, it would just, I'd get to bed at a time that I felt like I needed to get to bed. I'd always get up at a certain time because of work. Sometimes I'd pull all-nighters, and then on the weekends, I would try to get some sleep and catch up. And now I have a consistent schedule that I stick to no matter what day of the week it is, and it's flexible, and I can change it if I need to, but most nights I don't. And I love my sleep now. I am in love with my bed. I am in love with going to bed because I know how it makes me feel. I get excited about doing this. It doesn't seem like it's a chore or anything like that. So we have a class this coming Saturday. It's completely free, 10:30 a.m. PST. You can attend here in person, which we think is the best, but you can also attend virtual through Crowdcast. We always have a really good crowd there. And this is what we're going to learn together. Well, first of all, this is how you would improve your sleep in the first place. We've already had a seminar on how sleep works and making an argument for sleep. And we have a recorded version of that video. It's in our online community.superhumantransformation.com. If you just ask me for it, I'll probably send it to you. But so the first part is understanding why sleep is important, what the benefits are, what the detriments are, how circadian rhythms work, understanding sleep pressure, and just understanding the whys behind what actually happens when you're sleeping. And then the next part of that would be implementing some kind of a framework to help you move in this direction of optimal. So it's like we're all in this place that we're at, and we all want things to be better. And then there's this place that's completely optimal, which most of us probably feel like we'll never be able to get to. But between here and there, there's all these small little steps and incremental changes that we can make that although we're not perfect with it, we're going to see some tremendous benefit in the way that we look, feel, and perform just by implementing some of these small little things. So here's what we're going to learn this Saturday. This is all about a framework to improve your sleep in small incremental steps. We're going to talk about how to improve your duration, and there's a lot of different ways that we can do that. And we use some tools as we improve our duration, things like alarms for different situations and different things that will cue you to have just a little bit longer duration of sleep. We'll talk about how to use alarms with a lot of other things, because we feel like alarms can be really, really powerful, but it's a specific way that you want to use them. We'll talk about, we'll readdress this concept of sleep pressure, and then also we'll talk about details about caffeine's half-life, how long caffeine stays in your system, what kind of protocols we need to have in place to enjoy our coffee and tea while at the same time making sure that we're not messing with our sleep. And again, we have step-by-step process to improve that. And then we'll talk about how to mimic the day during the day. So in our last talk, we talked about circadian rhythms and the power of natural sunlight and minimizing brightness in the evening time. So now we have all these incremental little steps that you can make to start mimicking the day during the day. Same thing at night. We want to mimic the night during the night. And there's a lot of different things that we can do to get us in a direction of better. So we'll talk about step by step the different things that you can do to mimic the night during the night. We'll talk about how to use technology. This is the latest and greatest updated stuff that we've learned over the past couple of years. By the way, I read 2 new sleep books getting ready for this class. So there's a lot of new stuff that we're implementing in this framework to make sure that you have all the things that you can use to help you sleep better, including technology type stuff. We'll talk about supplement considerations. We'll talk about how to make this work in a situation where, maybe your family members are on a different schedule or maybe not completely on board with your health efforts. We'll talk about how to address shift work and unique schedules. So this is a really comprehensive class. Now you might be thinking to yourself, like, how do I know this is the right stuff? Well, the way that we come up with our guidelines is we use an ancestral template, or we use ancestral wisdom, and we ask these questions like, what did our ancestors do as it pertains to sleep that made them so healthy and sleep so well? Or what did they not do that contributed to that, that we may be doing today? And then we can also ask, like, what is it that we're doing today that is keeping us from getting good sleep? And what are we not doing today that is keeping us from getting good sleep? So that's our ancestral health template, and then we can come up with some really good questions and answers, and then we combine that with the current holistic health leaders in the sleep realm. And my top books that I've read that I feel like gave me the most useful and consistent information are books like Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. I love How to Sleep. I just read that one. It just confirmed a lot of what I learned from Matthew Walker's book. The Sleep Solution was a great one. The Sleep Revolution was a really good one. All these sleep experts actually have a really consistent message, and so what we do is we go through there and we pull out the things that we feel like are extremely useful, combine it with our hypotheses that we generate from ancestral health, and this is how we come up with our experiments, and then we put that stuff into practice. And whatever works, we come back and we teach in these classes, and that's exactly what we're teaching in this class. Now, if you feel like you can't do this because you have a set schedule, or there's something else that would keep you from improving your sleep duration or quality, that's why we're putting together this framework, because we want to show you that it's not about being perfect, it's just about having these small increments of better that you can notice in your life. And if you feel like your life situation gets in the way, like you have, again, a spouse that's not on board, or some kind of a work schedule that's kind of crazy, again, we're talking about small incremental steps that you can do to improve your sleep duration and or quality, no matter what your life situation is. And remember, what we're getting from this class, we're getting about 45 minutes of what I would consider to be mind-blowing information. And we're getting 15 minutes of open discussion with whoever's there live and whoever's participating virtually through Crowdcast. We've got handouts, we've got a mini guide, and we've got a checklist that goes through this incremental step process to help you improve your sleep. And then we have a bonus of a 14-day module system that we call 13.5 Days to Sleeping Like a Freaking Champ. And with that, you'll get an email every day with a small little tweak that you can use to implement to make your sleep just a little bit better. And just think about it. If this is free and you can attend, and it takes an hour out of your day on Saturday, if all you did was improve your sleep just a little bit and still walk away with a ton of information, don't you think it would be worth your hour of time? And we'd say yes, because guess what? The highest version of yourself, the best version of yourself, I guarantee, if you think about like that just ultimate awesome, top performing, happy version of yourself, I guarantee that version of yourself sleeps like a champ, all right? So hope to see you there. The links to what I'm talking about should be associated with this video or this post or wherever the heck you're seeing this. All right, we will see you guys later.